We're back with more Judson Richards on Sports Radio 670 The Score.
More exciting, the Four Nations face-off finale, or my 2-year-old daughter pooping on the potty for the first time. We'll have to debate that another time, but congratulations to Layla for getting it done. She's obviously going to be a genius. Also, the Four Nations face-off was phenomenal. How about that? You know, there was some purity to it, as it just was outright competition. It was an exhibition game where we're not used to necessarily, I think, in the U.S. being the underdog. Baseball has gone incredibly global, right? And we still expect ourselves to win, even if we're playing Japan or Dominican Republic. It's our game. The NBA has won 5 consecutive gold medals, or basketball players have won 5 consecutive gold medals in the Olympics. I think some people have forgotten that. But hockey is not our game. Our rival doesn't even consider us our rival, which gives you an idea of where we stand. Canada, our rival, their rival is Russia. Eddie Olczyk said that on 670 Score this week. So the underdog, and then you go ahead and you implement international play. You make it about pride. You make it about playing for your country. And that's what works so well for the Four Nations face-off. But you feel a little bit like the victory lap has gotten out of control for the NHL. I keep reading that the NHL had 9.7 million viewers. It's the most watched NHL game of all time in the Four Nations face-off. I'm sorry, I don't remember seeing the Edmonton Oilers out there and Connor McDavid. Remind me again who the 2 NHL teams were that were playing in the Four Nations face-off to set these records. It was put together by the NHL, who ultimately tapped into what works the best for hockey, and that's international play. One of the most famous moments in sports in our country is the Miracle on Ice. Hockey is like the 4th most popular, if that. But Miracle on Ice worked so much because we were underdogs and because they were representing the United States of America. Let's listen to PK Subban, former NHL hockey player on ESPN. When I say getting carried away a little bit, here's what he had to say.
Sidney Crosby, Hockey Canada, those players, both Canada and U.S., it was the players that did that for the Four Nations. That's not the league. The league set it up, but the players went out there and decided and said, you know what, boys? We're all in. When is the NBA going to do that?
All right, Four Nations works because the players are all in of something that we can't get enough of, and that is when it comes to international play and hockey involved. So if you want to talk about the NBA All-Star Game, that's fine. We can have a conversation about how it has real problems. But comparing the dedication that we just watched in the Four Nations face-off for Canada and the U.S. and Finland and Sweden, take those 4. All right, those 4. We're against what? Team Chuck, Team Kenny, Team Shaq, and Team Candace, right? Let's remember that when it comes to basketball, NBA players do show up. That's why they've won 5 consecutive gold medals. They've grown the game that they created, we created, and then they go ahead, they show up, and they do play.
So you didn't grow up, wanting to play for Team Chuck? You didn't want to you didn't want to represent the Team Chuck?
No. I had the Team USA, that cartoonish Team USA jersey that was wildly popular. Like, I love Team USA, but none of that was like Team Larry or Team Stockton. That's, let's celebrate what the NHL did. I think they really grew their game, and it was phenomenal. But I really don't think that we can drag the NBA All-Star Game because the NHL went and hijacked our love for international play. That's all I'm saying. NBA needs to be fixed. The All-Star Game needs to be fixed in the NBA. But I was not watching 2 NHL teams play. That's not at all what I tuned in for. They tricked the system, man. Well done. Well done by the NHL.